physics apply as in the Cup Series, but each two-car tandem, it's as if they are one car. So, you know, it's like racing around by yourself, except for it takes two of you to go that fast. So we're going to watch Kasey Kahne and Joey Logano here. And as Kasey runs up, he's trying to cause a little extra drag on the 20 car and pull him away from the 11 car. He wasn't able to do it. But it's very interesting how much you can affect the car in front of you.
Oh, trouble. Danica Patrick.
That could have been some tandem drafting gone wrong. That's the one risk with this style of racing.
Very wet grass down there. Hopefully she can get out of it.
Yeah, she's got damage too, though.
Hey, spot me.
So first yellow flag is out.
I come down pit lane.
Yes, come on.
Danica was running 7th last time by the start-finish line. That accident up in turns 3 and 4. And you see some pretty significant damage to that Chevrolet.
We haven't seen a replay yet, but it's one of the dangers of drafting. We're going to look at her onboard here in a second. This is the kind of thing that's so frustrating early in these races. Kyle Larson's pushing her, and he hooked her. She got turned to the right and hit the wall.
And that's really kind of an inexperienced thing. Kyle Larson doesn't have a lot of experience with this. Daytona, and man, that was just a small mistake, but it caused a big problem.
And you don't have a pressure gauge for how hard you're pushing the car in front of you. So in Kyle Larson's defense, it is very difficult to tell how much actual force you're putting on that car in front of you, and it looked like she wanted to go one way and his nose of his car went the other way.
We come back live to Talladega with the caution flag out. Travis Pastrana and Reed Sorensen have been involved in an accident down the back straightaway that's wound up on that very wet inside of turn number 3.
Reed Sorensen stuck in the grass. He actually got up in the air a little bit on this.
He almost went over. It was very close. Travis did a good job of getting on the brakes, actually, while Reed Sorensen was in midair in front of him. Not the way Travis Pastrana wanted in this day. Reed Sorensen stuck over there. I'm sure they're both really frustrated.
Pastrana took a hard shot into the outside wall. He has dropped the window net, and we see him moving around inside the car, talking with the safety workers. And Sorensen, you saw, trying to drive his car somehow, some way out of the muck and mud. We had over an inch of rain here at Talladega in the last 24 hours, and that grass area is just soaking. These two drivers were 5th and 7th at the time of the problem. So they weren't even drafting together.
No, they weren't.
Oh my, it's almost the same thing we saw with Danica Patrick.
Wrong place, wrong time for Pastrana.
Yeah, definitely. He tried to go down to avoid it because the 43 car initially went to the outside. He hits the wall a ton right there. It doesn't maybe look like a lot to the viewers at home, but that's a really hard hit. That happens so fast. This is one of those places when a wreck happens in front, oh man, it's close. You have to stand on the brakes, and Travis did that, but he turned and there was nowhere to go. You make your decision and you're stuck with it.
And I'll even offer this, Carl, as we watch how close Sorensen came to going over there. Pastrana being pushed by Bain might have influenced where he went to.
Right.
Pit stops, Vince.
Pit forward. B5 will look inside. B5 will look inside. Yes, 4. And don't let him pull me off. We'll be fine. Stay on the yellow line as tight as possible. Give me all the room to get cool.
And you heard him say, don't let him pull me off. If you get separated right now, if you let that guy pull up and separate you from your partner, your dancing partner, you're going straight to the back. So they have to stay together at all costs.
30, well, trouble. Blake Cook into the outside wall, turned out of the draft.
That could have been big.
So far, no caution.
That right front fender went somewhere, though.
I don't know if that right front's going to hold on.
And the yellow's out. Debris from the 00 car has put the caution flag out for the 4th time. Now Talladega is an opportunity for some of the underfunded teams and some of the younger guys, and just like that, Talladega will break your heart as well.
watch the replay and try to figure out exactly what happened there. They're up close to the wall. Now, Cook, he put his partner there in the 31 car. He put him up close to the wall, and it looked like Allgaier thought, man, I don't want to be that close to the wall. And as he turned down just a little bit, he hooked Cook in the right rear. And that's slow-mo, and it happened quick. It's a very frustrating way to end your day. He did a really good job of keeping it straight, not causing a massive accident there.
Yeah, and a lot of guys behind him did a good job, too, because that could have been a big mess. There was a lot of leaders around that.
Let's watch for Vickers to let off the throttle, wait till they cross the line. Busch is going to pull down in front of them, and then they're going to push away. Those guys like to work together. I don't think Kligerman was very happy about that, but here comes Bowman.
Yeah, I did a good job. Kurt Busch and Brian Vickers both. Sam's got a strong car, though.
Yep, and he pulled right up on Vickers, pulled him off of Kurt. Now,
good move.
He should wait probably for Bain, because I think Bain would be a good partner for him. As we say that, Logano and Allgaier are going to push up through the middle.
Justin Allgaier going for the lead with Joey Logano's help.
Woo. And now, see how they split up, though. Now they're going to back off, and Vickers and Busch are going to drive right by him.
How about Johanna Long right there?
Eric McClure in the middle of this also. The intensity builds as the laps wind down. NASCAR also checking with its observers around the racetrack about precipitation. We stay green for now.
There is. I see a little rain on the camera right there. So that right now everyone's thinking, go to the front. It could be over any minute. And I have a feeling that has a possibility of working out for everyone, but that's chaos out there right now, guys.
You don't think it's a strong possibility that it works out for everyone?
No, honestly, I think this is the time when you see that we talked about the frequency of cautions at points in the race. This is one of those times.
There it is, turn 3. Brian Scott, Johanna Long, Trevor Bain, and more. Ty Dillon.
Are we jump? Torn up pretty good, Kelly. Backed out of it, Kellenoff. They just wrecked, and I couldn't go anywhere.
Sam Hornish.
That's a game changer, guys. A lot of cars.
I see you.
All right, let's.
So we zero in on how this one started as the pack steamed off into turn 3.
Yeah, it looks like it started right here with Eric McClure in the middle. You see Sam Hornish on the outside getting a push from Trevor Bain. It's like Sam tried to thread the needle. Not quite enough room over the front bumper of Eric McClure. And look what happened.
And it's tough to tell from that angle exactly who moved which direction, but man, 40 car made it through there. Yeah, we're going to get a good look here. So
Sam trying to thread the needle and just not enough room.
He kind of got forced down there a little bit by the 70 car, just not enough space. I truly believe it's a product of raindrops. Everyone's saying go for it. We heard James Finch and those guys telling Kurt Busch, lead the thing. We need to be out front. And it's when you get aggressive here, and that's about the farthest point away from the spotters that you can be. I mean,
yeah, they can't help much in that situation regardless, but you can't really see, you can't tell them which lane to be in, where it's really happening. You can see there's trouble from the spotter stand, but it's hard to tell exactly what's going on.
So McClure in the 14, not tandem drafting. Hornish in the 12 and Bain in the 6R, so they've got so much more speed, and they run up through there on some of those cars that aren't in the tandem draft, and that's what happens.
We're going to get a chance to look at Sam Hornish's onboard, see how quick this happens. Yeah, and Sam was going to go underneath the 70 car there, Johanna Long, and she turned at the last second. Sam just hoped that there was room to turn, because if he wouldn't have turned, his right front would have hit. He'd have been spun out either way. So let's see from Nelson Piquet's on board here. Nowhere. You see him pull his hands away from the wheel there, because that wheel's whipping back and forth. I've had my thumb dislocated off of my hand from that. It's a little scary when you're getting hit from all different sides. You want to get your hands away from the wheel like he did.
Telling you, watch out for that black 01. He and Elliott Sadler locked together, pushing hard.
There's nobody with more experience and arguably maybe one of the best restrictor plate races ever is Mike Wallace.
Boy, that got tight. He and Sadler separate.
Now watch though, they separated. They'll get back together. They'll get a huge run on this pack by being, 100 yards back or so.
And remember, if the white flag waves and the leaders take, oh, there's trouble. Coulter turned in the tri-oval.
Right behind you. Right behind you.
Caution is out.
Trying to get by him. Trying to get by him. Trying to get by him. Yeah, I'm all right.
Running in 5th at the time.
That's the balance. You've got to push for everything you've got, but it's 1 inch too far and you're spun.
I really hate it ended like that. Thanks again, guys. God, I hate it ended like that. How do we go?
Well, he was in the hunt for the win.
He was.
But now his race car is all torn up. Fortunately, no one else involved. And you hear Coulter talking to his crew, but the yellow flag out, setting up a green-white checker finish.
Yeah, you can see Joey Coulter right here, right in the middle of this mix.
And he's
they had
thinking,
some
okay,
momentum. Got turned. Yep.
He hesitated just a little bit and then decided to tuck back in line, and Algar wasn't following what Coulter was really thinking right there, and that's trying to get two guys to think the same way in those type of situations is almost impossible. And so the folks at home, when you think, well, they're just running along nose to tail, that's no big deal. It can go bad really quickly.
And again, fortunately, that pack had thinned a little bit, and there weren't any other cars when this one came back across the track like that. And no further involvement. But what this sets up,
the roof flaps work there, everything worked, so he didn't get upside down. That would have been a terrible place to get upside down. So kudos to NASCAR for all that.
what this sets up is, for the 5th straight year, a green-white checker finish at Talladega. Remember, the race had been shortened up to 107 laps. Well, we're going to be under caution at that scheduled distance, so there will be one attempt at a green-white checker, not multiples because of the impending darkness. NASCAR says one attempt
change it to one
at a green-white checker finish.
I saw Austin Dillon gesturing in his window there, and this part of me thinks he might be saying, guys, it's so dark, I can't see anything.
Can't see. Can somebody show me the way the track goes?
Here we go. Who's going to win it at Talladega? A lot of candidates. It'll be interesting to find out. Austin Dillon in the 3, Joey Logano in the 22 lead the field for the final restart.
There was no deal making on the start. They're just going to let whoever's behind them push.
And remember, Bowman in that 99 has been strong in this race. He can push that 22 to the front.
Guys, that's as close as it gets. I mean, that's a 4-car tandem.
That usually doesn't work out good.
No, it doesn't. You got Kurt Busch in that 11, though. He can make it though.
Pushed him clear of Logano and Bowman.
Oh, now Kurt's got a backup to Allgaier there, 3rd and 4th.
This might work out for him, though.
Bowman's going to push Logano right by him.
Here they come to the white flag. Remember the location of the finish line at Talladega.
So Kligerman is tucked in. He's not worried about cooling his car. He's going to burn the thing down and run right to the finish. I think Kligerman's in the seat right here to win this thing.
10 cars chasing after him in the draft. Final lap at Talladega. Who's going to get back here first?
I like Kurt Busch's chances.
I spoke way too early.
Yeah, he's got the momentum right here with Allgaier. There they go.
Oh, he side drafted as hard as he could. He split them up. Don't count Logano and Bowman out, though. Here they come.
Here comes 20 in Vickers, 11 in Sadler up through the middle. Oh, Bowman trying to stay with Logano. Kurt Busch sliding up the track to block. Here comes Regan Smith to the outside. Logano moves to try and pick him up. Smith to the bottom. Vickers turned around. Who gets to the checkered flag? Here they come to the stripe while they crash behind him. Unbelievable. Who won? finish line. I believe the 5 got there by just a couple of inches, maybe the width of that front splitter.
Guys, I've never seen anything like that. I hope everybody's all right. That's the most spectacular finish I've seen ever.
You haven't called the finish yet.
20 Vickers, 11 Sadler.
I was looking straight at
Involved
the
in the wreck.
Cannot tell who won.
I can't tell. We're parked right above the finish line, folks, and we can't tell you who won the race. Just from our perspective, it looks like Casey Kane.
That was something.
Yeah. As a driver, you get done with a race like this, and if you're not Regan Smith, you're frustrated, your car's torn up. But as a fan, I mean, that can't be any more exciting to watch.
So watch the red 7, and then watch for the caution lights on the top right of the screen. There's the 7. Barely ahead of the 22.
Wow.
And there it is.
Man.
The moment the race finished.
At that point, Casey Kane was, what, 3rd?
Yeah.
And he was the one in front by the time they got to the line.
And NASCAR had to throw the caution.
Yeah, they had.
Have to throw the yellow lights on when there's cars like we see at the bottom of the screen.
And you know the thing I'm amazed about watching that 7 car come through there, he was in the outside lane leaving turn 4 and sliced his way through the traffic when things were happening in front of him to get to that inside lane and have the chance to make that move. And look at that.
And what's neat about that is so often these races, you know, a guy gets pushed out, there's a lucky move, somebody gets a... Regan made that happen.
Bang, bang. And that's the
Right there's where it came
of
out.
caution. And watch the 5 car come by on the outside. Wow.
Yeah. Joey Logano didn't hurt his average finish any, though.
No, and Joey, I just heard him on the PA. He said he might have got a little too aggressive side drafting him, but you can't go back and second guess that. They were doing everything they could to get this start-finish line.
And as Regan goes to celebrate with his crew, we take one more look at the wild finish of this race that resulted in Smith going from that outside lane across 3 wide to the inside lane and being the leader barely at the instant the caution was thrown by NASCAR.
Regan said it. He wasn't sure if he was clear. He knew that was his chance to win the race. Calamity behind him. He did a great job. And you notice he stayed way away from that yellow line and hooked right around the back end of Kurt Busch's #1 car. Winner, points leader. I mean, he's gonna smile. He probably he'll be smiling for a day or 2 at least.
Now, with all of the chaos on the last lap, NASCAR obviously still very much checking and rechecking the finishing order from this race, but unofficially the championship standings, Regan Smith swinging ahead of Sam Hornish Jr. as we head to Darlington next week.
Another good